trying to see my thinking, catch myself feeling kind of anger, resentment, judgment towards someone or something. And when I practice the absorbing it and letting it go and forgiving that individual, um, I think I feel more open to new stuff, new insights, new experiences. Hey everyone, we are back. We're back, and I wanted just to jump in again with my thoughts as usual. And first and foremost, thank you if you share any of my videos, if you consume any of my content. I appreciate you and any type of content that you watch. As always, try to keep it light, try to keep it as well informative, but keep it light and as real as possible. And the times that we're going through right now, it's very uncertain. And as I said in my last videos, I was making content for my own self development, my own self improvement, but now I'm seeing that we are all going through this together. We're all trying to practice basically what we preach, right? I could sit here and say, hey, don't worry about it, everything's gonna be fine, but it's a lot harder when you're, um, you know, being told that your kid's gonna be home, you got laid off, and uh, we don't know when we're gonna go back to normal. So definitely anxiety kicks in. A lot of thoughts come to your head, and what I've been realizing lately is that as I've heard it and I've said it, and I heard it also in a lot of the quotes on social media. I've seen it in a lot of influencers post how nothing is ever really, you know, the same. Everything's always changing, and if you think about it, that is just the way life is. I think we tend to believe that nothing changes, but for the most part, everything, no matter where you stand, where you stay, everything around you changes, regardless if you don't change. But even in that scenario, I was listening to one of the talks today by Lewis Hayes, which I just ran into. I'm not sure if you guys believe in serendipity or coincidence, as they call it, but I usually listen to a little bit of inspiration in the morning, right after meditation, when I'm in my best, I think, focus zone. And I was recommended a video by Lewis Hayes, and she's talking about how to basically uh, access yourself internally through tough times, and could have come at a better time, right? So she's saying that at the end of the day, we're always changing. You're not the same person you were um, a year ago. You're not the same person you were a week ago. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. Although we want to believe that and think that, we're never ever the same, right? So she states in the sense that we most of the people that normally are still suffering is because we get attached to our past, attached to the mistakes we made, well, whatever decisions we made, we are still punishing ourselves for that. And that as well trickles down to individuals that we deal with on a daily basis. Um, we hold on to past hurts, um, grudges against individuals that might have hurt us, might have we've all been there, right? Might have said something bad about us, owes us money, whatever it is that we have come to in eternal life, and how the importance of forgiveness, and how that sets you free from just another part of yourself. Because if you're not able to forgive yourself, you won't be able to forgive others. So I think I've been a big advocate of this in trying to see my thinking, catch myself feeling kind of anger, resentment, judgment towards someone or something. And when I practice the absorbing it and letting it go and forgiving that individual, um, I think I feel more open to new stuff, new insights, new experiences. Until I let that go, I forgive that, I feel that it takes away a lot of my focus and energy and kind of derails me from what I feel like I'm here to do. So I think it is also a great mindful practice right now where we're going to be a little bit, having issues, and maybe people are not going to say what they do what they say they're gonna do, or especially now with this pandemic, um, things that we thought um, should have came through didn't come through, right? And we tend to blame others. I've been there for our situation, and I think I've made a lot of mistakes along the way where I felt that I held grudges towards individuals, or I felt that I always had to prove myself right. And proving myself right didn't really make anything better in many situations that I've came across. And I think when we try to um, force other people to be the way we want them to be, we run into a lot of judgment, resentment, anger, and that is probably one of the hardest things I think to practice as a human being. Right? We all have those moments in life where we feel that way. I know I can't sit here and say no. I never done that. I do it more often than not, because obviously a lot of us are you know unpredictable, are self conscious of our own things, and I always tend to believe we are worried about ourselves more than others, and that's why we kind of forget about what others might feel or think, or how would you want them to think. So it's like it's a lot of us to absorb mentally in one person's mind, and I just want to make the video in that sense that I think right now we might want to go ahead and try to um, really look at where we still hold these type of anger, resentment, frustration against individuals that are not going to really change because you want them to change. They're going to come around at their own end. They might never come around, but at your point, to have your peace and sanity, you have to forgive that yourself. You have to first forgive. And I said it before, but I think it still comes around sometimes. You think about the past, especially now you have a lot of time in your hands. Tend to blame past situations or circumstances on others, and I realized that a lot of those things were meant to happen, whether they're good or bad. I realized that it was something that was meant to happen. It happened, and it's done. I can't do anything about it. Sometimes I catch myself really going down on those avenues, trying to correct those things that I felt I've been wronged. I've been lied to. I've made mistakes along the way, and as I was into Kyle Cease as well, he says, whatever happened, it happened, and so it was supposed to happen. So I think when you start looking at those things like that, you start being okay with it, and you start forgiving everything more, as opposed to thinking that why it had to happen that way, why am I where I'm at right now, I should have done this at that time, and forgiving ourselves for that, right? It might help us open up our access and access different parts of ourselves that we never otherwise would have accessed. But the time is now, and we can't really do much about the past. Yes, we could have done better. Yes, we could have acted differently, but we didn't, and that's fine. It was supposed to happen. Everybody, I think, was acting or doing the best they could on their end, as they knew how. And this goes for our parents, partners, friends, family. Um, this is the people that you lend money to and they haven't paid you. Um, these are the people, friends that maybe might have, back trash you, talk about you behind your back. All those things that we felt that shouldn't have been done against us. Um, excuse me. A current employer that might have let you go for no reason at all. These things that we all kind of go through life. I know for me, I had a lot of those personal experiences, and anger doesn't come up when you think about it. But lately, when I've been practicing that, I think that it lets me know that there's a bigger purpose for us here. There's a bigger plan for us. The reason why all these things are happening is to set us, direct us towards that plan, that purpose. If these things didn't happen, we would still be on the same track, going towards a different track, and maybe we're being pushed to a different avenue. I looked at life in different avenues, right? So the avenue that we were on, we got pushed off of that, and now we're going on another avenue, and that is where we're supposed to be. So I know it might sound a little bit gibberish, a little bit touche, or a little bit. What's that word called? I want to see that word, but I forgot. But a little bit typical, like a lot of people say. But I think it kind of makes you start feeling more at ease, less anger towards everybody. Especially now, a lot of people are like panicking and acting kind of unpredictable. Forgiving them for that and understanding that we all trying the best that we can. So if you take away anything from today is forgive yourself first for everything you've done, didn't do, and then you're able to forgive those that might have wronged you or hurt you along the way. And just look for that peace inside and let the answers come in. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.